John Mellencamp, Pink Houses. All right, this has a few parts to it. Let me jam through them all, and then afterwards, I'll give you the walkthrough. All right, let's go. Okay, so this intro riff, kind of like that iconic riff of the song, happens in the intro, but also it pretty much happens after every chorus. Okay, and it'll start with this little scale here, and it's a little bit of a technique here. We're just going to hit 3 on the E, slide 5 to 7, okay, and then we're going to hit 5 on the D. And immediately after that, we're just going to go strum a G chord. Let that ring a moment. All right, and then we're going to shift to a C, and then back to the G. So let me just try it slowly for you here. Okay, and generally it happens about 4 times. All right, I think after this first chorus it might happen twice, but you can play it 4 times, no big deal. It's up to you. All right, so let me just put the whole thing up to tempo for you now. All right, and now the verse progression. Essentially, it's going to go G, F, C, G, but it's going to kind of switch up the timing of the F and the C, and how many times we do the G. So, 3 chords really, but the timing is just a little different throughout. So, starting off, we're just going to do G chord for 6 measures, okay, and the strumming on it, just some like basic strumming, just okay, that just really just a typical acoustic style strumming, nothing crazy. All right, and you can do that for pretty much every chord. And like I said, 6 measures of the G, and then we'll go through that 6 times. But once we switch to this F chord, the first time around, we're going to split the measure. Okay, we're going to do a couple counts of F and then a couple counts of C. Okay. And then we'll get right back to that G chord. And we'll tack a couple of G chords on measures on the end of that. Okay, and then essentially we're going to start the next half. And the next half, of course, we'll start with 4 measures of G. Okay, but now once we switch to the F, we're going to give that F a full measure, okay? And once we switch to the C, we're going to give that C a full measure. course, just tack on a couple of measures of G, just for good measure. Okay, so I'll put the whole thing together here for you, just so you can get more of the feel of it. Okay, and in the chorus section here, some of the lyrics will come off of those last G measures of the verse, but once we kick it in, we're going to kick in with the C chord for a measure, to a G, alright, and then repeat that twice. Okay, then we'll go to the C again for a measure. Okay, now we're going to do a D chord for 2 measures. And then finish with a C chord for 2 measures. Alright, and then of course get back into our intro post-chorus riff there that we did at the very beginning. Alright, so now let's put the chorus all together here. Okay, and after we get through the verse and the chorus a couple times, we'll get to this interlude section, which basically is coming off of course, that intro post-chorus riff. Okay, I'm going to do that about 4 times, but then we kind of switch it up and we just jump to an F, and this in particular, it's going to be picking through an F suspended 2, okay? Which isn't too wild. We're just basically going to be down here, and we're going to hit first on the B, and then we're going to go 3 to 1 on the E. Come back to that 1 on the B, and then finish with 3, 1 on the E. Okay, so it'd be something like. Alright, so just picking through some F suspended 2 notes, and then we're going to switch up to this C. Okay, and we just really kind of worry more about this, like the 5s on the DGB. Okay, because we're going to come off of that C, make a suspended 4 for a C, which basically we just bring the pinky over, or if you want to do it with your index, whatever. And we just hit the 6 on the B. Alright, hit that a couple times. And come right back off to the C on the 5s. Okay, so. And from there, we're going to go to a G, and this is kind of where things will change each time we go through this progression. You can do a variable of, just different little riffs in this G. A couple of them could be something like this, where we just kind of hit the top end of the chord, like the 3 on the E and the 5 on the A and D. And then we just come down and do the suspended 4 for the G by just, taking the pinky and coming on the 5 of the G. Okay, almost like we were doing with that C just before. So hit it a couple times and just come back off to the 4 on the G to make a normal G. Okay, so you can do that, or you can do something a little more like solo-y, where we bend like the 2nd on the G, come off to open. Okay, do 2nd to open on the D, and then just come back to an open G. Alright, and each one of these little riffs, we want to do about 2 measures worth. Okay, just a little noodling around there in the G key, alright. And something last, you can do something real twangy, like we're doing 3 on the E to 6, and then bend the 6. Okay, and then hit 5 on the D, bend that 6 on the E, come off to the 3. Something like that. Just some twanginess in there too. All right, and so that G ending, fill in either of those or your own little variable of them that sound good. All right, so now let's just try this whole interlude together with some of the different endings and stuff. So something like this. Thanks for checking out the video, everybody. Like it, share it, leave a comment. It's always good to hear from you. Do me a favor and hit the subscription button. I put out a video pretty frequent, so you don't want to miss out on that. Check out the links in the description box below. I have really cool links for tablature books, all the gear I use, t-shirts, fun stuff like that. So thank you very much, and we'll see you next time.